gotta change my clothes so people don't think that I'm wearing the same clothes all the time because I'm homeless. Oh, that was filming. That's going in the video. So this video is going to be about a couple pro tips that I've learned about booking hostels, and let's just get into it. My first tip is don't be so reliant on HostelWorld only to book your hostels while you're traveling. For those of you who don't know, HostelWorld is like a main hub for all the hostels that you can find. First tip, use hostels.com if you're going to use the bigger hostel booking sites. I was told pretty early on into my trip about a website called hostels.com. It's HOSTELZ.com. So pretty much how that works is it's almost its own search engine where it searches HostelWorld, Booking.com, and 2 or 3 other websites for the hostel you're looking for during the time frames that you're looking for, and it'll show you which of the websites have availability for that specific hostel and at what price. So for instance, say you're a dashing young adventurer who's recently had his hostel cancel on him for no reason, and you're trying to book a last-minute reservation and you want to see what kind of hostels are there. So at that point, you might use a service like hostels.com to find a backup reservation. So hostels.com works almost just like Google. You look for the city, country, or hostel that you're looking for. So let's just say Hamburg, and then search. Then you'll be directed to this dialog screen here where you can select your date. So let's just say tomorrow for a night, and then check availability. So as you can see, it's checking HostelWorld, HostelBookers, HostelClub, and Booking.com. And then it'll give you all of these hostels that are available for that date, along with the appropriate rating and the actual price as well. So then you can go and pick one. I generally won't stay in a hostel that has worse than an 8.5 rating. Really, if anything has like a 5, 6, or a 7, it's going to be absolute garbage. Trust me, I've stayed in probably over 50-something hostels in the past 3 months, every time. Then you can go in and let's say Generator Hostel Hamburg, and then it brings you to the booking system for best prices and availability. So for the bed and 8-bed mixed dormitory room, you can see that there's a $4 difference between Booking.com and HostelWorld. So if you're intent on using one of these booking sites, which you might not want to, and I'll tell you why in a second, then this would be the way to do it, just to maximize your savings along the way. Second hostel pro tip, don't use HostelWorld at all for your booking. Now, you might be asking, well, why did you just suggest to use a service that curates part of the results from HostelWorld? Well, some people like the convenience of using their app and just having everything centralized in one location. Sometimes it helps just to not have to worry about, well, which email did they send to make sure that you have the confirmation details. But one thing that HostelWorld does that I found out recently is they tack on some additional charges. I'll show you what I mean. So let's go to hostelworld.com. So let's just say that we're going to go to Hamburg on the 18th, and we'll check out the 19th. It'll be for one guest. Let's go. Let's see what they have. So you'll see they have quite a bit of options here. Now let's just pick a random one. Let's have the Hamburg Hammerkirsch, because why not? So as you can see, the familiar breakdown of your different, So as you can see, the familiar breakdown of all the different rooms that you can get. Let's just pick the cheapest one we can find, which is $74. That's crazy. Okay, so now we'll go to one room and we'll hit book now. Okay, so we're not going to go ahead and fill all of this out because I'm not actually going to book it. But the main thing is, you see where it says payable now, US $9.48? I thought that that was part of the reservation process, that they were actually taking the money, sending it to the hostel itself to reserve your bed to make sure that they wouldn't give it away to somebody else. That's not the case. That money just goes to HostelWorld. That's why when you get to the hostel, you still have to pay the full amount. So here's what I do. Use HostelWorld as a review service. So I'll go on HostelWorld first, type in where I'm wanting to go, see what's open, see the general price range as well, but use it to go through all of the reviews. Because it's such a well-known and highly used website and app, a lot of people leave reviews on HostelWorld. So you can scroll through a ton of reviews, look for some red flags, and then go to the actual hostel's website and book on there. So let's assume that we went through this list and we decided on the Meininger Hamburg City Center because it has an 8.7 rating with almost 4,000 ratings. So that's pretty good. And you can see on HostelWorld that it has dorms from $43 a night. So what we'll do is we'll Google search the Meininger Hamburg City Center Hostel, and we will go to their website, which often is not going to be the first on the list, just because websites like booking.com, hostelworld.com, they have much better SEO, so they're going to rank higher. So you might have to scroll a little bit before you find it. But we can see here that it's the second website on the list. So we're going to go through there, and fate decides to load on this bad Wi-Fi. And then we'll go here, and we'll put in our arrival date for the 18th. Check out on the 19th, one night, one adult. Book here. So as we scroll down, you'll see that we have the beds and dormitory, which is what we were looking at on HostelWorld, and it was $43 on HostelWorld. On the actual hostel's website, it was €33.15, which comes out to just under $37. So HostelWorld is putting a $6 markup on the hostel itself. So if you just book directly with the hostel, you'll save a little bit of money each time, and that adds up really quickly, especially if you're traveling for a decent amount of time. So that's my pro tip, is to book directly with the hostel itself. Don't use HostelWorld because you'll just be paying more money, and oftentimes the hostels will give extra incentives to actually have you book directly with them. I know, for instance, some of the St. Christopher hostels, they'll give you free breakfast if you book directly with them and not through HostelWorld. And you can potentially email the hostels themselves and even ask if there are any incentives to book directly with them as opposed to HostelWorld. So yeah, book directly with the hostels themselves. It'll save you time, save you money, might get you some cool stuff. So those are my hostel quick pro tips. Did you find them useful? Do you have any other pro tips that you would add? Please comment below, let me know. Like, subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff that I have to say. And then I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.